Dewberry, and today I am so excited to share with you my new Patreon program. And what I've done is we've started something that I think will really help those artists out there who are wanting to make some money doing their artwork or just wanting to be inspired to create and easy ways to make creating possible for them. And you might just want today, with today's lesson, you might just want to make all your family's gifts that you're getting ready to give, either for birthdays during the seasons of birthday times. And we have a whole file that we save of that, or maybe even doing some art shows. So you never know. Okay. So I've got my working clothes on, ready to get started. I want you to understand that this is all about the world of painting with Marc and Donna Dewberry. And so every week we'll come on, and I just wanted to share with you today that this week would be, for instance, my show. And while I'm doing my class, it's gonna, or my day with you, it's going to be about mass production and how quick and easy it will be for you to work faster but not harder. Okay, so I put together different ideas, and I have a lot of years of painting experiences, traveled all over the world, mother of seven, never thought I would ever do something like this. And today, because of pandemic, I'm also more than ever on social media. And I'm loving that I can touch people all over the world. So it's pretty amazing right from my home. And so I hope I inspire you. It's fun to get behind the camera and just, I might be a little nervous at first. We'll have a session on teaching you that too. But after you do it and you practice, I'm going to get better at this on Patreon. I still have a little bit of nerves, but I think the more we go, the more it will be comfortable, just like my YouTube shows are more comfortable for me today after years of working on it. So we're on TikTok, YouTube, we're on lots of other medias, Instagram. And so I want to come on here and be just for you on the Patreon avenue here. So you're ready? Now, I just want to tell you one fun thing is that you get to finally, for many of my painters out there, you get to finally see Marc behind the camera and on a mic. He's a storyteller, but they're usually amazing stories, and he draws the attention of all my painting ladies in my classes, and even the guys. All the husbands become his buddy too, because they just talk and talk and talk if we're on the other side of the room painting. So he has lots of stories to share, and we have lots of business sense. And the painting world, many people said, we don't have a Marc to help them market themselves. And so, you ready? Let's get started with today's lesson. All right. So I just want to tell you really quick, because you might not stay on for as long as I'm going to be talking or teaching you. We have a different path on our Patreon. It's not like my YouTube, it's different. And so if you're on my membership on YouTube, which I hope you'll join that, I do lessons every week, and then I have a premiere lesson. And that one's longer, and it's just more detailed painting. It's all for beginners. It's easy also to go to my YouTube, and like you're saying, how'd she do those leaves? Like if I do something today and you're wanting to know more about it, whether it's my double loader or my brushes or whatever, you go over to practice strokes, which is no charge, to do relax and paint on Wednesdays, and practice stroke new videos go on Friday. I can't think what to call them. So you always have that. Then you have a membership over there starting at $9.99 a month. And basically, this membership is going to be different than that. It's going to educate you in a different way. And so I'm excited for you to go join Patreon. You just have to go sign up like you'd sign up for my Zoom lessons. You would just go sign up, and then you can go. There's a wealth of information out there in the Patreon world. So many subjects. But so what you would do, this is kind of like Mark and Donna's podcast, but we're going to be right here and you can email us and send us messages. There's lots that you can learn. And we're going to go live November 2nd. So if you like what I'm about to show you, just go check it out. I have right now, I've got 3 different levels. You start at a $10 level, which will get Mark and I for the 4 lessons and more for podcast, whatever we're doing here, and more. And then I have 2 other levels that you can try out. And when you get either one of those, you also get the 4 a month that we're doing during the weeks. Okay, so there'll be 2 probably of Mark and I, one of Mark storytelling and one of me. So this is the one that's me. So is that too much talking? Way too much talking. But I'm going to go ahead and start now. Okay. So I'm going to come down to my workstation. Okay. And I have some ideas here for you. I'm going to show you by lining up. We're going to be a little crooked here. By lining up multiples of what I'm doing. Okay. Even the same idea that we're going to put out here. I've already base coated them white, or the canvas is white, whatever will make it simpler. Okay, I'm going to straighten this up a little bit. And I have my brushes out here. These are the value pack of brushes. There's 10 of them. And that if you have these, you can do like almost everything I'm doing. Okay, so I've dampened these brushes because they have sizing in them to get that out. And I have those all prepped. Let's see if I go over a little bit more this way. You can see that too. All right, now I put in my double loader the colors that I'm going to be using today. And by the way, if you haven't watched me before, this is multi-surface paint by Plaid. All right. I love multi-surface because it has a sealer in it. It's got a satin finish and it goes on a multitude of surfaces: glass, wood, metal, ceramic, mirrors, whatever you want to paint. Okay. And canvas. All right. So I put them in my double loader. There's a second thing I use, and that's floating medium. Now, floating medium is perfect instead of water because we can get a watercolor look. We can get lots of uh, looks without getting muddy. So your whole deal with me is to try not to get muddy when you're painting. Okay. And if you want to learn more about the tools and all that, double loading and all, go check that out on my YouTube channel. Okay. It's the Donna Dewberry channel. Now, what I want to do first is I want to share with you that I line up no matter what object I'm on. It could be glass. I could put my glass here, clay pots. This is wood. Then I have these canvas pieces, a couple of Dollar Tree pieces, and then some flat canvas for it. Because you always want something inexpensive for people that they can purchase. And if you're at the shows, but these canvases fit in. These are the 5x7s. These fit, or 5x6, 4x6, 4x6. They slide right into an envelope. Okay. And so you can put it in an envelope, send it as a birthday card instead of getting other cards. And it is a piece of art. So it's a gift and a card at the same time. All right. So I use a lot of flat brushes. Now I'm going to start off and I'm going to have like a watercolor background. So to get that, I'm going to pick up medium and I'm going to pick up some of the colors I might want to use. So I'm going to use citrus green. I'm going to put this to the side and I'm going to start out by doing just a little bit of a background. And every time I come over here, I'm going to pick up the medium and I'm going to just get a little bit of that color. And I want it to look like it is a watercolor effect. Now, one of the things you can do is you can wet this background, which I have if I'm doing it on art paper, but I could take, see, I've just put some water and just for the background. You can't use that for art painting because it will make it muddy. Now, what I want you to see on this is the water beaded up. The water just kind of loses the control I want to have, but it's okay if you like that look. All right. So I'm just coming around here, putting, oop, that got a lot, so I can pick up a little bit of this. But this saves you time so that when you're working and you're trying to accomplish a lot and you've got your brush dirty with whatever color you're already using, so you don't have to keep cleaning. The next thing you need, so you don't have to keep cleaning, you're going to make sure that you start with a lighter, probably color, and then I can go to the next color without cleaning my brush, which I'm going to pull a little bit of sap. Okay, so you notice I put a lettering on there first, and I could go all around that. Okay, just a little bit. I even went over it and it doesn't mess up anything. All right, so, all right. And I'm going to do the whole process because I want you to see. You could actually rewatch this and do it with me. Everything that we're showing you um, during our lessons or our casts that we do, you can go back and watch as long as you remember. Okay. All right. It's different. Well, the key is for you to understand that I'm doing different than I do on just my painting shows. Okay. So we're going to talk about how to charge, how to decide how to make money, decide how to just be a better artist, things that make your art look more professional. Okay, so now these are coasters, but I've hung these with ribbon in the back, hot glued ribbon on, or drilled a hole, or they just kind of set up as blocks. You can't put a little stick in it and make it stand up. So these are the wood coasters, and you can drill a small hole, put it on a dowel rod into a little teeny base, and they sell those a lot in gift shops. All right. So one of the things I did is I like to use my leftover paint and use the rest of the paint and throw it into greeting cards at the end. And so I always have a stack of greeting cards that are ready for me just to throw some paint on it. And I always have a basket sitting with me at the shows and all, where I am putting, instead of duplicated um, picture duplicated, copied, printed cards, what I like to do is just do the hello. Oh, do the hand painted ones. They're worth more. And if you're painting like one stroke, it's very quick and easy to do that. And I'm just using leftover paint. I have just sit and watch TV with my husband while he's watching TV, and I'll put me a little art lap desk and I will just sit there and create. And while we're watching a show together, I might be painting more than watching, but just let you see. Now, you see, you can wipe off some. Now, this is the color I've got now. I'm not doing my job. Let me share this with you. This is magenta and white. Okay, now I can leave some white showing. I'll show you the difference. But as I'm doing this, it's making my production a lot quicker, like I said, because what are some points you think that doing it like this would save you? And so many have told me, oh my gosh, I sit there and do one at a time. And I could show you one day some fabric painting and how I made fabric painting make me a very profitable business when I was painting shirts and shorts and all from a t-shirt company that I bought wholesale. Okay, so there's the watercolor background. And I can add lavenders or other colors in there. I have violet pansy, cobalt hue, magenta, pink melon, pure orange. I don't know if I'm going to use these, but I'm thinking I might. And then daffodil yellow. Well, so one of the things probably would be best is to have one that you painted and you know what you like. Now you know what you want, what avenue you want to go to. So what I want to explain to you is we timed ourselves, and so not when I was talking, but when I was painting. So you do one, you time yourself from the beginning, you start one before we do this mass production deal. You do the one from start to finish and time it. And you know you want to make at least 20 to 50 an hour. All right. So then you break it down and say, okay, this took me 40 minutes to do. All right. So that 40 minutes, I'm going to, let's say easy, let's say 60 minutes an hour. It's not going to, but let's say it did. When you then go, okay, I know I have a cost, there's very little in this. So if you want to add the cost afterwards, you would say that this is going to be a $20 item and I spent $1. So you can say I'm going to add an extra dollar for the canvas, which isn't, and the paints or whatever I used. All right. Or ribbon or whatever you decide to do. Well, so what happens is when you're mass producing, you could probably at least do 4 to 6 in the same amount of time. And it would be like 45 minutes, but you can see. Okay, so then you figure it out very simply what you want to accomplish with that. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm using a 12 flat now. I used my 3/4. I'm sorry I didn't say that. I used my 3/4 when I was doing all the watercolor effects. All right, there's another brush that's not in my 10-piece set, which is a 16 flat. And so if it's a really small piece, you might want to use that. But these are a little bit smaller here. All right, so I want to turn these at an angle. All right. And then I'm going to start. Now this, I'm going to lead with the lighter color. I've got citrus green and sap green. Okay. Now look what happens here. I'm going to split it between here and then I'm going to go. All right. Now I'm going to come up here. And then I could take and do a couple of leaves. And maybe I can have one coming down from here. Now I can add some medium to this leaf because this is a pretty dry canvas, this one. Now, but when this all dries, you could let that dry in between. If you're doing a whole bunch of them, you could be busy. I usually stick to about 6. We've got 3, 4, and we got so we have 8 here, but I usually stick to 6. I was just trying to be impressive for you guys, I guess. I overdid it. But I used to do mailboxes, and so I would stand the mailboxes up on their ends all around my chair. And then I would have a spice spinner. You know, back then we could get them for $1, but it's probably $10 today. But the amount of time that saves you, because I would sit the mailbox on the spice spinner, and then I would take and paint one side, spin it, paint the other side, spin it. Okay. So look, we are going to very quickly just go for this effect. And see, there's no mistakes. If you don't like something, you just restroke over that. Did you see? All right. So I don't know. We should have timed me so we'd know what we're doing here time-wise. All right. So I'm going to come in here. So really, watch me. I'm going to grab paint here. I'm going to work it in. I'm going to dip into the medium and maybe dip some more because I really don't want it to be heavy. I want it to be like a little watercolor. That's a little heavy. It's because I went back, let's add some citrus to it so it's not so heavy. So that's solid painting. I really don't want solid painting. So you'll see the difference in that as we go here. All right, I do wrap some around the edge. Or you could do a cute little stripe or something on the edge. All right. So see how I didn't do them all exactly alike. Now, if I don't know about you, but when I go to a show and somebody's got something, a look I really like, it doesn't matter that the look's on different surfaces, and it doesn't matter. I just want a piece of it. And I maybe don't want to spend for the full size piece of art, but if I could buy a little taste of what they do, or just have a little piece of, oh my gosh, I've got to have some of her work. That's what you want them to think. I've got to have some of this. All right. Now, let's go to this little piece here, and I'm going to pick up some, let's get some, we've already got magenta on here. So I'm going to do, this is sky blue and violet pansy. All right. So I'm going to just go right here. Now we have to use medium because of the canvas. The canvas is pretty rough here. All right. Now you can do all this really light, and then you can spray a little bit of water and make it go blurry on you on purpose. So this is sky blue instead of white. All right. And I am going to go ahead and let this one be the one that I decide what I want. So I'm going to wipe off. I'm going to wipe off the blues, not wash off, but wipe off. Okay. Get a little bit more pink. Okay, so let's go over here and grab some pink melon. White and pink melon. I don't need to totally double load that, but I am getting a look that I like. So I could go right on the green, see it picks up a little bit of green, and I like that. And then I'm going to go over here to the yellow. Okay, and I can put a little bit of yellow and white up here. All right, so see, because I'm down here on top of all this. Okay, so with progression work, that's a nice look, but I might want to add, what do we need? Let's say we need a little butterfly. So I'm going to double load those two colors, white and daffodil yellow. I'm going to push down a little bit more, push down. And what they will like is if you put the butterflies in different locations and you make the butterflies different colors or different ones. And so there might be two of these they can't resist. They got to have a little piece of it. All right. So then I'm going to come in here and pick up my liner. And I always like to use green, not black, but green for the body. Push and lift. And you should be timing yourself for this single one so that you make sure you know how long it's going to take you, which will only take you a few minutes, honestly. All right. So, and then you sign your piece. It's easier to sign it while you go instead of waiting and coming back and signing a bunch of them. But you might find that you print better with IdennaPen. You could do that too. All right. So I can also come in here just to add a little bit more. You need your look, but I could touch and pull little sprouts that are or stems that are coming out of my cluster. Now these colors have always been a very popular chrysanthemum or whatever that I do. So see how this just added just a little bit more to it. All right, there you go. So I'm going to put this there and I'm going to keep painting, but I just want to show you, I'm going to wash and be here fresh. And this is what I do. I'm going to take one more step here so you see, and that's my finished project to go by. I'm going to pick up, what color do I use first? Purple and violet pansy and the sky blue. All right. And I'm going to go And let's do another one of these surfaces so you can see. I'm going to start here, and I want it to be worked in so it's kind of, see, these are slick, so you didn't need the medium. But I still am going to get a little bit of medium because I want it to be just a little smoother. Now, I'm going to teach you lots more in here, but the first thing I'm going to, but what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go and keep working, and this is a tease to get you to come and learn more about what I'm going to be sharing with you about doing your painting for sale or for gifts and multiplying yourself fast, fast, fast. Okay, so I'll see you later. Bye bye.